Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, as always, Eric J. Chucci, and as always, I am joined by my Harold of Andraste, the boy.
Hey.
And not as always, we are joined by the rogue seeker herself, my dear wife, Brandie.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Before we get into the shit you came here to listen to, here's the shit you have to listen to before we get into the shit you came here to listen to. If you could, please, hit that like button, man. It's a thumbs up. It's right there. I mean, it's like you had to click play for this video to go. Just scooch your little cursor, not even an inch. Go clicky-clack. Just the one time. If you do it twice, then it goes away. And if you could, circulate the links. Share this video with your friends. The thumbs up are the most important. Subscribing and all that crap. If you want to do it, we'd love you for it, but you don't have to. Just like. Also, if you could head over to Shining Wasato Super Blizzard Bandcamp page Orama, buy up some musical tracks. Let's Get Hardcore is our theme song. And the dude is really awesome. He might not be making a lot of wrestling music anymore, but he's doing video game stuff. Check out Joylancer. I'm pretty sure it's out like everywhere that it's going to be out. He's got a wrestling game coming out someday. He's got Puppet Kingdom that he's working on that seems pretty cool. It's like cool 8-bit Pokemon aesthetic stuff. So do all that shit. But today, we're going to talk about our first impressions of Dragon Age, Inquisition. We debated for a little bit what we're talking about. Originally, we were going to talk about wrestling in general on the heels of the Vince McMahon Stone Cold podcast and the Colt Cabana CM Punk podcast. There's a lot of stuff about the wrestling industry, a lot of which we were right about.
Yeah, a lot of stuff we were wrong about, and not in good ways.
No, but TLC is like next week. So, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll wait for that. Yeah, what's been on our minds lately has been Inquisition. So, spoiler free, I am about halfway through the game. Boy, you're a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah,
Brandie's actually beaten it already.
That's right. I beat it hard. Real hard.
Already this podcast is taking a very different turn. Listener, put the children to bed. We're going to say wiener words.
We are.
But these are the points we're all at in the game. At this point, spoiler free, what short thoughts do you have about the game?
No spoilers?
No spoilers.
Oh my god! As being the only person I know who's beaten it. Oh my god!
Alright.
Oh my god.
Robot?
Oh my god.
I don't know if I could top that.
Wow.
I really, really like this game. It's the delivery on the promise that was Dragon Age 2.
Hey, that's good. I like
It's
that.
Good.
People have asked me before, because apparently my opinion matters. This is news to me, but I would say it's like if Mass Effect 3 and Skyrim had a baby, for all the good and ill that implies. And, I mean, even though I'm only halfway through it, it's my game of the year. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
It won Game of the Year.
Already?
Oh, yeah, it's some video game awards. I don't know. It happened last night. Every
be
time a
surprised
video
if it
game
didn't-
award shows up, it doesn't sound legit to me. It sounds like Spike TV is just going, hey, we heard video games are cool, give us money!
Yeah, and I would be surprised if it didn't win Game of the Year in a lot of different awards.
Oh, no doubt. It's just been stunning. So that's the spoiler-free. Now, we're not going to spoil the whole game.
Because some of us haven't beat the whole game.
I'd be super mad at Brandie if we did. But, I just finished the thing. Actually, you know what? Let's not walk around, let's not wander around. If you don't want spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition, we're going to give you 5 whole seconds to find your phone, hit the mute button, close the window, turn down the podcast for what? Alright, 5 seconds, starting now, pure silence, nobody say anything. If you make a noise, it ruins it. I really thought one of you was going to make a noise. That's amazing. Alright. Yeah, okay, so I just got out of the fade. That's where we're going to be. That's the cutoff point.
The second
spoilers
time, not
after
the first
that.
time, he needs to clarify.
Oh, no, yeah. Hi, I started the game, I saw the glowy lady. So, that being said, I've made, in earnest, a total of 3 characters so far.
Because Spork has alt-itis in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Here's me. And I'm gonna try to minimize this as much as possible because you guys don't care about my weird hang-ups and shit. I don't know, maybe you do. Leave a comment in the comments section, and we can talk more about my weird hang-ups if you want.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
No, please, leave comments on our videos. Don't listen to Brandie.
No, I mean about your weird hang-ups.
Oh,
All the
right.
comments that you want.
I don't give a shit. Anyway.
Look, whatever gets us views. I mean,
Right? Give us your pennies. I want to make sure I enjoy this game. I made an accidental bad decision early on in Dragon Age 2, which, if you go back and watch our Dragon Age history video, you can hear more about. And I don't want to say it ruined the game for me, but I couldn't get through another playthrough of it. Just, period. Because the game was...
soured,
yeah. It didn't help that I played through it a lot early, and there's so little that changes in those early times. But I wanted to make sure that I got at least one playthrough that I really, really liked. Because I wanted to walk away from this incredible piece of game with a good opinion of it. I mean, even Mass Effect 3, which is my second favorite game of all time. I haven't picked it up and made another character. I tried. I made Shepard blonde and was like, no, she's not a blonde. And that just never got off Earth.
Mass Effect is is actually kind of a different beast from Dragon Age. Because it's the one contiguous story of one contiguous character, I feel like even though there's a lot of different things that can happen, there isn't a lot of replay value. Because some of the value comes in your playthrough being very different from everyone else's. If you really want to see in Mass Effect what it looks like if you choose A instead of B, or, one of the three colors, whichever one, you can just look up a YouTube video or a Let's Play that does that. Dragon Age is a little different because it's three different people, because the stories have all been very different, and because it's taken place over the course of like a decade, so all the choices in the previous games have had time to breathe.
Well, I also think that with Dragon Age 2 aside, a lot of the choices in Mass Effect are very binary.
A, B.
Yeah, whereas the choices in action. There's also a lot of inaction in Mass Effect. Whereas the choices in Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition are multi-layered.
You could, just talking to people who played Origins, there are people who have several different endings to their game and several different choices throughout.
Oh, yeah.
Like the crazy guy I work with who kills Alistair.
Or like all the people who were upset.
Sidebar, who the fuck does that?
Oh, he was like reviled when the game came out.
What? Why? He's amazing. He's my bro. We were the Bash Bros.
Politics.
Okay then.
Well, and even though all three of us ended up with Alistair as king,
Because
obviously,
why wouldn't you?
yeah, you guys didn't marry him. I did.
Right.
Well, I played a dude, so
I played a dude and a dwarf. Even if you are a lady dwarf, it is hard to get in Alistair's pants, and you can't be queen.
Hence why I only played humans, because I tried to romance Zevron once.
how'd that work out?
I romanced him. We got it on. Then I'm like, nope, I'm going with Alistair. And he was like salty for a minute.
Ha!
A whole minute? Dang, I am sad now. Ah, well.
Yeah.
I romanced Leliana because Morgan was kind of a bitch.
Whereas I romance Morgan because
He's pushy.
No, it's just I like the cut of her jib. It was so many layers to that joke.
Yeah, wow, I can't.
Anyway,
Ultimo Dragon, you
moving on.
need to email me. Get on my Twitter, follow me on Twitter, or follow Boy's Twitter and ask him about them jibs and see what.
All about them jibs. About them jibs.
It sounds like
Quiet, Cuddle, do you want to get sued?
It sounds like I'm really into the Gogomas.
The Gogomus is our cat. We have several nicknames for him, one of which is the Jijibus, which could be conceivably shortened to Jibs.
Anyway, back to Dragon Age, which is the most amazing thing ever.
All right, since the
Cat fight.
cat fight, I'm not going to do the Joey Styles voice because I don't want to. Since the one of us who's gotten the furthest along is Eric, we're gonna work our spoilers around up to that point. Beyond that
the
point,
least far is me.
yeah, that's what
Yeah. Just for clarification for the listener, I knew what you meant.
But, well, besides all the other things, one of the things I mostly like about Dragon Age Inquisition is the keep.
The keep is
I can't
really
wait to
cool.
get into it. Like, I have it, but I can't wait to, like...
No, I think, you mean the keep?
Oh,
Dragon
the
Age
keep, the online
Not
thing.
Not Skywalker,
Oh, yeah. No, that's letting me do... Look, I sat down and I did play Origins twice. I never finished it. I've started up Dragon Age 2 several times, but I got to about year 2.
You never finished Origins?
The second time.
Oh, okay.
I finished it the first time. I finished it the first time, did all the DLC. Quinn the Dwarf is a paragon, and everybody loves him.
Well, it was like, you said, here, Brandie, play this game, like, nah.
And then you took it, and I never saw it again. It was like a year later before I finally finished it, remember?
Yeah,
Because I got to the fucking mage circle and was like, fuck this, I am out!
Hey, you're the one who said, told me to play it, and look what happened.
Yeah, well, good.
A fandom was born is what happened.
One
But-
look into those doughy eyes and that
But the
blonde
keep-
cloth.
But the keep is...
Yeah, the keep is really cool.
It provides you so many options. Like, I'm going to play through this game again. I made a really weird, scary realization. Previously, the running joke, since I had played a mage in Dragon Age Origins and a mage in Dragon Age 2 because Wizards for the win. They were both members of the ML family, so up until that point, my Dragon Age story was the MLs save the world. Well, thankfully, in the Inquisition, your mage character, because again, I played a mage because mage is for the win, isn't an ML, but he is still a mage. So all of my main characters in Dragon Age that I've gone through forward with have been Caucasian heterosexual mages with black hair. Out of pure coincidence. So I'm going to go through and use the keep to make another playthrough. For the second playthrough, I want to play Inquisitions. Once I'm done with Inquisitions 3, I'm going to play again as a female Canary, because I want to remain Sarah.
Because
And
it's fun.
I'm going to make a version of Dragon Age Origins that is basically using Brandie's character from Dragon Age Origins. Then I'm going to make a unique new Hawk who's not like either of theirs, because I'm going to make him a dude, a warrior, which you never played. And I'm not going to make your Hawk, because who would voluntarily do that?
Her first playthrough was a warrior.
But it was not a dude warrior.
No, it's not a Dude Warrior. And you can do this without having to go back and play all through of Origins and all through of 2,
No.
Right.
which I've played 2 5 times now. I don't want to play it again.
Which is basically what I was trying to get at before I derailed myself.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play through Origins again and see what Logain was like. Because Dragon Age also does a great job, less so into, but it's back in Inquisition, of painting shades of gray. Every story has two sides.
I love the shades of Grey in Inquisition. I'm sure you've noticed this too. They go to great lengths to even paint the actions of the previous games and the previous protagonists as being somewhat sketchy, as being not exactly, as being debatable.
Well, and when I was on the internet getting ready for this game, reading stuff about it, there are people who feel like Dragon Age 2 was a villain's origin story for Hawk. I mean, Inquisition kind of, gets rid of some of that. Even if your Hawk is angry guy makes angry pants like mine and sided with the Templars.
And that's another amazing thing about Inquisition. We finally get to see one of our old characters. Now,
Yes.
it was not the character that I wanted, because my Warden will always be my favorite Dragon Age character that I've made.
I'm sure
Oh,
there's
same here. But you get to hear about your Warden, and that's nice. Like, when I brought in the Arcanist, and she was talking about, oh, the Warden was this, the Warden was that. Or when I sit and talk to Liliana, whom I romance, and she reminisces on, things that are going on with my Warden. I get so excited!
Or the Arcanist did the same thing for me. I've heard a couple of things about my Warden since my Warden was a mage. I've had villagers talk about how mages are evil, but, the Warden did save all our asses.
And I went with the Templars, so I didn't get to see Alistair, but in my second playthrough, I hear he talks a lot about his wife. So, yay.
That's
Wait.
awesome.
That's the main reason I'm playing it again so soon, is because I missed my Ally Bear.
Oh man, I don't know why we both have Ursine names for our video game mates.
I can answer that question.
Why?
Bears are cool.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And they put a lot of bears in this game.
There are a lot of bears.
What the fuck is with bears in this game?
They're heavy!
I don't Stop.
Oh, I was just watching his face, listener. Just watching to see when the joke set in.
Dick.
I am so mad. There's not a line.
There's one.
There's one that kind of worked. I am a suspect, but only because of his delivery. That is as ridiculous and delightful as, am I a bear or the order dictates?
The order dictates!
Yeah, but they forced that meme.
They did.
Another thing about this game, as opposed to the rest, it's everything I've ever wanted in a video game. It's Dragon Age.
Yeah.
End of story.
It's in Thedas.
It's open world, which is amazing. I don't
Kind
know.
of. I mean, it's not like...
It's medium open world. It is essentially the same system as Dragon Age 2. That's the funny thing. You have these areas that you go to that are... You can go anywhere in these little areas, but they're just little areas. Except for, instead of little areas, they're fucking huge!
And they're not the same areas over and over again with a rock in front of a door this time.
Yeah, well, and Dragon Age Origins had the same map system, but these little areas you're going to are fucking enormous. I believe I made the joke at one point when I was playing on my new character, and just exploring Haven. I laughed and said, geez, I know they said that one of the areas in Dragon Age Inquisition was bigger than Kirkwall, the entirety of Kirkwall in Dragon Age 2, but I didn't think it was fucking Haven. There's just so much fucking worthless wilderness around there.
And it's worthless wilderness you can fucking go and pick elf fruit in.
And speaking of areas, listener, I need to tell you something. Get the fuck out of the hinterlands. I know so many people who are like, I'm not leaving the hinterlands until it's completely finished.
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
Don't do that. The game isn't meant to be played like that.
Yeah.
You play in the hinterlands until you're about the level you need to be to go to the next zone. Go to the next zone. You can fucking go back to the hinterlands.
There are so many games that punish you that are like, oh, you left the hinterlands? Well, I blew it up.
You lose all these quests up until, at the very least... Actually, you know what? As someone who's beat the game, this is a spoiler I'm comfortable having. You might be too, if not Wave. Do they blow up the hinterlands at any point?
No, they do not blow up the hinterlands.
So you can always go back to wherever and get your quests.
Presumably until the final battle.
We're talking about up until the Warden's quest, right?
Up until the Fade.
Which happens after you get to Skyhold, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, they do blow up Haven.
That's true.
They do blow up, so anything you want to get in Haven, the getting's
but
good before you close the breach.
There's 3 quests you have to do there, and I think only one of them you can't do later. And that's where you gotta go get the dude's notes in that house for the alchemist.
Yep.
Everything else, I'm sure you could repeat in Skyhold.
I didn't want to play through... Actually, this is a fun story, listener. I didn't want to play through the destruction of Haven after I beat it. I know you went through and played it until you saved everybody, right? You just kept playing?
Yeah, no, I was like, well, there's people I can not save? Fuck that!
Alright, I played it once and just lost who I lost, saved who I saved, took it as it lies. Now, those of you who have heard previous podcasts probably know something about me, and that is driving me fucking insane. It's constantly driving me fucking insane because I'm such a perfectionist when I play video games. I'm trying actively to be less of a perfectionist about this game. I make choices, and if someone disapproves, fuck them. They disapprove. I don't care anymore. I want to make choices that I feel are right. If Cole thinks that's a bad choice, well, fuck Cole.
And that's probably healthy, because someone's always going to disapprove. I mean, Morrigan isn't there disapproving of every single thing you do, but everybody has a good character. That's what I like as well.
Yeah, all the characters are all set.
You know who I don't give a fuck what they think of my decisions?
Who?
Vivian.
Oh. Yeah, Vivian! Universal household
I dislike her so much, I constantly forget she was there. I was gonna think you said Solus, because you guys hate him for some reason.
He's grown on me. He has grown on me.
He's a hipster.
He's just so scary in the beginning. When you're first talking, he's like, oh yeah, the Fade's terrible. We should totally just rip that shit right down. And all of your being goes, we're specifically trying to close the big fuck-off hole, right?
No, but I understand your reactionary thing, because that's my hawk. That's Hudson inside of you, trying to claw his way out, and I think I heard blood mages!
Well, I hate Vivian so much, or Vivienne, that I lost
like
her.
some people call her Vivian.
I lost her and did not give a shit. Like, she got a new place to stay after Skyhold got fixed, and I'm like, where the fuck is she?
Oh wait, I don't care.
I was trying to beat the game when I needed just a little bit more experience. That's when I found her.
I found her when I needed to get my mage specialization, Knight Enchanter. She's a Knight Enchanter. Also, very useful to have 2 Knight Enchanters in combat. Honestly, me and Vivienne, when I used her and myself, once we both had that specialization, I don't need fucking anybody else. I can send the rest of the party home.
I don't like her at all. I like her as a character. I like that she
exists as a character, but personally, as a character, I hate her. She's a bitch.
I mean, even politically speaking, she's got some decent ideas. The Circle should exist as a safe place for mages to learn and grow. Because mages are dangerous when they're getting trained.
You could totally... A magic academy isn't a bad idea.
And the world can be dangerous for mages. The Circle has its benefits. But everything she's doing is very clearly just a power grab.
Yep.
Everything.
Obvious, transparent power grab. Because she plays the game. And oh, am I fucking tired of hearing that phrase.
Try to be as anti-spoilery as possible. There's a point where she backs you into a corner, asks you questions, you give her your response, which is, I think we should go this way. Then a quest pops up. And it's her trying to get you to sneakily go her route.
Yeah, no. Speaking of which, this is kind of a spoiler, but I feel you all deserve to have it, because I wanted to tell both of you. Not super spoilery. Since I'm sure you want to know how to get the Nug mounts, there is a merchant in Orlais.
There's a Nug mount?
There's many. There's a merchant in Orlais on the 2nd floor of Val Royeaux.
Okay.
He sells one item that's ridiculously expensive that's called, like, the weird magic box of mystery or some shit. Buy it from him. Leave, go somewhere else. Come back. That, like Pokemon, go outside, come back in, your Aerodactyl's here. Come back, instead of the box being there, it is a Nug. You can then look at the Nug, the golden Nug, and it says the quest you get is, like, the big one, and it's a War Table quest. Do that War Table quest. Enjoy Nugstravaganza.
There's Nug mounts? I didn't even know this.
Speaking of Nugs.
Sold. Next time I play Dragon Age, that's what I'm doing. I am not kidding.
Speaking of
Leliana
Nugs.
will be so happy.
Speaking of Nugs.
Blackwall likes Nugs.
Yes, you heard it here first. Do we have a segment for that? Did we have a name? We came up with it? Bullshit? I don't remember. Whatever. Fuck it. This is me. This is my crackpot ass theory. Blackwall has a thing for Nugs. And I don't mean like in a weird, fucked up, sick way. But, okay, I've decided, I looked at all the options laid out before me, and while I do have a character who's romancing Sarah because she's fun, in my playthrough to beat the game and have fun and get as much completion as I can, my Inquisitor is going to romance Blackwall because he's beardy and handsome and beardy and
he's staring at me as he says this. I want you to know.
And I think it's hilarious that we're both romancing Blackwall at the same time.
Yeah, this is your second playthrough as well, right? You went with Cullen the first time.
Oh,
and neither of you are ever going to romance Dorian.
Because Cullen is Diet Alistair.
He is. He's Diet Mr. Pibb Alistair.
And I swear to you, when I started my second playthrough, when he showed up, I'm like, don't romance Cullen. Don't romance Cullen. Don't romance Cullen. Hey, Cullen. You're so pretty.
But
and neither of you are ever going to romance Dorian.
No,
because I am Dorian.
Slightly less gay. You did do the mustache curls for a while, though.
I did do curly mustache for a while.
But,
and, oh my god, I am so Dorian.
There are things Dorian has said that the boy has said. There are things that people say about Dorian. In fact, one line springs to mind. Dorian doesn't take anything seriously unless it suits his whims.
Yep, pretty much.
Just the boy in a nutshell. You could get hit by a car and he will make a joke about how funny you look lying on the ground with all your bones broken. But by God, if there's something on the internet he takes seriously, it is to war!
And it's hilarious because Solus is creepy. In my first playthrough, my character was like, nope. Fuck you. Vivian's a bitch, so that left the mage in my party to be Dorian. So I put him in my party, like, this guy's amazing. This guy is the boy. Eric put Dorian in his party. Same thing. We're trying to tell the boy, you'll love Dorian. You'll love Dorian. He's like, nah, I've got mages. Then he puts Dorian in his party.
And now he's never leaving again.
Because
the Inquisitor I'm playing is... Dude, Blackwall and Dorian do not get along.
And it's hilarious. The more you put them together, the more they start to get along.
So Aveline and Isabella from 2, that's great. But it's just... Because the Inquisitor I'm playing is not much like me. Oh, I never finished that story about the destruction of Haven. We just keep getting pulled.
Yeah, there's so much to say, but it's okay. We're not even half an hour in yet. When does that happen?
I know, right?
When are we not looking at it going, oh god, we have 10 minutes to fill. Why not Zoidberg?
So, the destruction of Haven. I didn't play it again after I played it through, because the first time I played it, I was playing it in a rush for time. Spork was going to be home soon, and I didn't want to do something that spoilery in front of him. Brandie had to go to bed, and she wanted to see the differences and wanted to see my reaction to what happens when you go to Haven. And, I know it's even the destruction of Haven. I just thought I was closing the rift at the time. And
I closed that rift. I was like, wow, I beat the game.
I win.
Good, that's done. That's done. Which I kind of did. Put your story on hold. I'll hold a hand up so I don't get too distracted. I walked in with my dwarf going, okay, we're going to close this rift. That's what I made the character for. Unlikely hero closes rift. That was the concept. She ended up being a lot like your male shepherd. But otherwise, unlikely hero closes rift. That's what we were going for. And I wanted to romance Sarah. Those were my 2 points of interest. My goals. Those were the goalposts. And then I did them both. And I was like, wow, I'm done here, I guess. I am no longer needed.
Hooray!
Anyway, so yeah, Haven exploded. You didn't want to do it in front of me.
Yeah, and
please never do it in front of me.
No problem.
I thought you were going to say no promises.
Look, if there's a hot lady.
So, I had done it, and I went in completely unprepared. I didn't have any potions. I didn't have any rejuvenation potions. The regeneration ones. I didn't have any lyrium potions. I didn't have fucking anything. Okay.
Did you at least have a jar of bees?
My inventory was full. I didn't have a jar of bees. I had nothing. Okay. Here's the thing. I got my fucking ass kicked in. Hard. Because Brandie did not realize that she was playing on easy. And when you're not playing on easy, shit gets different.
Alright, here's the thing though.
Because Brandie's really good at Dragon Age games, but the first time through she plays on easy. Because she wants to get her bearings and then she plays the game for realsies.
Which is a good way to play it. I mean, especially this game. Like, I got up to the point I'm at where I just exited the Fade in about the middle of the game. And I'm like, oh, there are so many things I want to do differently already. Like, I might get to the point where I exit the Fade and then go back to my dwarf and be like, we're going to push this along for a minute because I want to see what else is going on that I don't want to fuck up.
I like that. But
that's exactly why I played through so fast the first time.
I got my ass just beaten in.
Now, at what point? Was it like the final fight there, or was it like the whole thing?
Well, I was getting my ass beat the whole time.
Okay.
And then I just ran out of potions. I ran out of everything. I ran out of potion refill boxes. I was fucked. I could not possibly beat it. I could not possibly do so. So I had to stop playing Dragon Age for like 2 days. Just because, I'm a perfectionist. So losing is a problem. But I went back and I started playing it again. And I was like, I emptied my inventory. I sold off everything. I came prepared. I filled up my potions from the whole party. I was like, alright, we're fucking going this time. And I get back in and I realize it's not because I didn't have potions. Or because my inventory was full. I lost because I wasn't fucking paying attention like an idiot. Because with that fight, and I assume with Red Templars in general, but I haven't fought a big force of them again, if you do not kill the ones with the spiky backs first, they turn all the other Templars into Templars with spiky backs when they're about to die. So you have to fight every Templar twice, and the second time around they're harder. So the first thing I did with the whole battle, and this is my free advice to you, listener, is when you get to Haven and you see all those Templars, find the fucking spiky monster ones, murder them first, then worry about the regular guys.
See, I probably did that by accident, because when I went through, the only time it got dire straits was when I was actually going toe-to-toe with Coryphanus. And yes, I know how to pronounce his name, Romancera. Then, my entire party was dead, and it was just me. And I had, no health. So I'm a warrior dwarf when I fought him. My current character is an elf mage. I was just like, everything I could do to get my guard, that little gray shield thing, to get that up, I was doing that, and then I like hit him, and then I run the fuck away. Like, okay, guard thinks on cooldown, sweetie, hitty, run away! It was like my fight between my rogue hawk archer and,
the
air shock, yeah.
I was like my
it
fight
was sad
between
and stupid.
my mage hawk and the air shock, which was run in a circle until I have damage spells, do damage spells.
But what was way harder, look, okay, I got through that fight. I didn't lose. When I restarted several times through Haven, it's because I wanted to save everybody. And it was just a little thing. I didn't lose anything, you know? The fight that was a fucking wake-up call.
I didn't even know you were supposed to be saving people.
So you're just like, fuck all y'all bitches.
Which is okay because the low gain supporter died, and I'm totally cool with that.
Fun
was the
fact,
easiest one to save.
I saved her, and she leaves anyway.
Yeah!
She gets reassigned because she has, as the new guy puts it, views. Perfectly legitimate views if you share them, Inquisitor.
I haven't talked to the new guy, he sounds cool.
But it was agreed that it might be more beneficial if there was someone more agreeable in the position. I love new guy. New guy's so great.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I think like everybody gets reassigned because what's his name? The salesman dude who didn't call me Knife Ear. Best thing about replaying as an elf so far. I mean, yeah, I'm learning a lot about Dalish culture that I did not know before, which is incredible. I'm learning as much about Dalish culture in this game as I learned about dwarf culture in Origins, and that's what made me fall in love with the dwarves.
So Dalish still awful retards? Or they growl on you?
Man, you're still gonna have to convince me about the Hala, but you know that dude.
Tell the listener your joke.
I got 2 jokes, remember?
Tell the listener the one you told me.
Alright. Listener, you listen to our podcast, you know wrestling, you know Dragon Age. What did Teddy Long say when he went to the Dalish camp?
What?
Holla, holla, holla! What was my other joke? It was amazing.
I don't know, you told me that one.
Iron Bull.
Iron Bull, what was Iron Bull?
Bagels.
Wait?
What does Iron Bull put on his bagels?
Oh. yeah. What does Iron Bull put on his bagels? Cream cheese.
Oh, God!
Oh, it's so bad. Boy hates bad jokes, so I make them because I like to watch him cringe.
Also, I love the fact that Krem is transgendered. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. We don't usually go political here on the show because we like to keep it light. But, yes, I would agree.
Oh, yeah, it's
all
amazing. I love how comfortable he is with himself. It's great.
All of the diversity.
Yeah, all of the completely unremarked upon diversity.
Which I love. I love the fact that they don't care if you got brown skin or green skin or whatever kind of skin you got, unless you have horns or pointy ears or you're short.
As long as you aren't a freak.
If you're not one of the freak races, you can do whatever you want. But what has softened me on the Hala is that, not like Solas going, oh, Hala are these things actually, they're very important in Dalish culture. Wank, wank, wank. You've probably never heard of them.
He's just a hipster.
It's what he does all the time. I didn't realize it until this latest
That's why he
playthrough.
loves it when you ask him questions.
Yeah,
he gets to be
because you're indulging him. I like Solus in a lot of ways, but also I don't sometimes. But
he grew on me a lot, and he recently lost favor with me again during the Cole side quest. He's such a cock.
I know.
I haven't done that.
Oh my god, he's such
a cock.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh.
He hasn't done it.
I haven't done that. I haven't done most of the side quests.
Things you have done that I can now talk about. This game gives you options compared to what you did in the last game. Like, if you had Alistair, in 2 games ago, if Alistair's your king, you run into him if you did the Mage's quest.
He's a little salty at the time, so it's not very long.
But he writes you an apology.
Yeah, because he was kind of salty.
And it's very Alistair-like, all his correspondence. Or, if you left him a Grey Warden, he shows up and you can do a quest with him. With him
and Hawk.
Yeah. And then there comes a point, and we're talking about spoilers up until this point, right?
Yeah, we've all gotten out of the
Okay, this is a huge spoiler. I mean, like a massive spoiler.
Listener, I mean, if you were like,
they got their 10 seconds.
I'm not going to give them more time, but if you were sitting there going, they're probably not going to talk about this kind of spoiler. No, we are.
There comes a point where you're in the Fade with Hawk and a Warden, whether that be Alistair or Stroud.
Stroud's a cool guy.
Shroud is a cool guy.
Glitchy as hell, and that makes me mad, but a cool guy.
Stroud was the guy who conscripted your sibling in the second one if you took them into the
Yeah, I thought that's who that was.
tunnels with you. Which is fun, because if you didn't take him in the tunnels, you could probably barely remember him from the first game. But anyway, I digress. There comes a point in the Fade where someone has to die, and you have to pick it.
Between the Warden, Stroud in my case, or Hawk. But if you didn't make Alistair king and he's still a Grey Warden, you have to pick between Hawk and Alistair. Oh god, that's some Sophie's Choice shit right there. I know what I would pick. I would pick Hawk.
I would pick Alistair.
I almost picked Hawk for Stroud.
Why? You know what? No, I bet you he picked Stroud because he hates his Hawk.
No, and it's not even about that. I mean, it was a good end for Hudson.
Fighting a giant, scary spider beast in the Fade.
With super egg eyes and stuff. Oh my god, that thing is hideous and beautiful. Also,
Isn't it great?
Did you notice how the weird Coryphanus monster had, like, super feats? Like, 90 feats?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Also, he wasn't hard to beat.
No, well, okay, he was, but shut up. I keep trying to get back to that, but whatever.
No.
I know, right? Gives you like I don't want to look at it anymore.
With his lotus nipple body and... Oh...
It's worse than Titty Beast, and Titty Beast had been the watermark.
Titty Beast was the one from Dragon Age Awakenings. Remember the final boss?
Yeah,
Titty Beast.
The horrible queen monster
That shot monsters out of its boobs.
Who superseded previous Titty Beast, which was in regular Origins that you fought in the Darkspawn tunnels in the Deep Roads.
The mother or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hawk had fucked up everything. I mean, just bad decision after bad decision, and he'd been entangled in this horrible thing, Hudson, my Hawk specifically. And he was mad and angry at the world and just wanted to do right but couldn't. And he has one chance to just do right. And it would be his final act. And that's glorious. But he also is moving on a path of redemption. And Stroud, for all his, gosh, it would be super nice to have a warden around to help direct all the other wardens who need direction now. First of all, the king's a warden. So we've got one there.
Secretly. I mean, he's mostly kinging these days.
Sure, but if pressed.
And there's the wardens at Weishaupt who never do anything, and near as I can tell, just sit on big chairs and eat ham.
Bethany's off doing wardeny things, as Varric mentions in the beginning of the game.
If you made
my Bethany is super dead.
I have Blackwall, who claims he's a warden.
Perfectly claimable thing from him.
So, that's not spoilers, kids. That's just, I'm starting to doubt the man's wardeniness. That's all I'm saying there.
Oh, no, but he talks, and, he mentions other wardens mention him. He's there.
He was a warden.
But
I believe that.
You think maybe he,
There was a conversation early in the game between some elf who's in Haven for some reason, and, I think it's an NPC conversation, or it might be something you initiate. But he talks about how he was a warden, and then it just stopped. It just went away.
Oh, no, that's the, first enchanter of the mages.
Yeah, that's it.
She was the Grand Enchanter. She was a warden, and then it just sort of cleared up like a bad case of acne. The taint just sort of went, fuck you, I'm not.
So I don't wonder if that's not what happened to Blackwall, because everything that happens to wardens in that game, Blackwall's like, I didn't know that happened. I was just out here trimming my beard and I didn't know.
You think maybe it cleared up?
Yeah, and I think maybe he is super shamed, or there's some other dark secrets. Brandie's looking over there like, I know everything, and I'm just gonna hug myself because I can't say.
Apparently there is some sort of dark secret, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, everybody's got dark secrets. There's one good member of your party, and it's Sarah.
Varric was so great in the Fade. Oh, and his side quest is even better. You should.
Which I also haven't done. I want to play more.
We will talk tomorrow on the way to work.
You got it.
There's... At the end of Dragon Age 2, none of the questions from Dragon Age 1 were really answered.
No.
Things that left... Whatever. Dragon Age 2, they didn't answer shit. And in the end, there was kind of a cliffhanger, with Cassandra stealing bear, but that was a sucky game.
Stealing. Like he's a pot.
At this point, if this game if this series
didn't answer some questions in Inquisition.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if this series didn't continue because Dragon Age 2
sure,
sucked so
it was
hard,
Empire, yeah.
we would be pissed, but if they didn't answer the questions in the second one, what made us think they'd answer it in the third? If the second game was so shitty, what would make us think the third would be any better?
Right.
So you'd be pissed.
You could have let it go.
The third one, the ending, not the one. Anyway, the ending is kind of like an after the credits sort of thing.
I heard they did one like Origins, where they do an after the credits summary of this guy did this, and like a movie from the 80s where they laugh and then freeze frames on the character and talks about their life like Stand By Me.
It does that. But either, I can't remember if it's right before this or right after, I don't remember which. But there are credits. There's a scene.
Post-credits, so like a Marvel movie.
I don't know, I can't remember, because I was just so excited.
You know what, just in case.
Yeah, stick around, maybe.
You can just press X and the credits go away.
And you still can see the same?
Yes.
Oh, cool. That's nice of
But...
Oh my god.
Like the
I was
ending
right?
of First Kill Bill?
Oh my god.
Just stuff that you're just like, you just want to be like, oh my god, yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Speaking of, this game brings about so many theories. Hold on, I was talking about something. I wanted to keep getting to it. Yes, the fight with the Nightmare, the Corypheus monster thingy. I didn't realize he turned invisible and then waddled over to that little platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, until like my fourth time fighting him. Now, I was up until 6:30 getting there, but I couldn't put it down. I was like, I'm almost done with this. I know I am, and this is amazing. And then I was up until 7:30 fighting this fucking thing. Till that last fight where I was like, he's just over there. I can still hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that battle went from being hard even though I had all of my potions and plenty of bees to nothing. Whatever. Fuck this guy. I barely used 2 potions.
Hey, a helpful tip that doesn't give any spoilers.
Throw bees at people?
Well, that too. It's what helped me beat the game.
Seriously, why would you ever get any other grenades?
Bees.
Bees.
But anyway, there's the big mission before the end that teases you that it's the ending mission. Normally they have little health crates all around.
Uh-huh.
Well, this time I was going through and there was a dead body there. I didn't make this dead body.
And it didn't evaporate into green mist, which is the usual.
And it didn't leave like a little loot thing. Its entire thing was lootable. It refills your potions. And there's several of them. It doesn't look like it's going to refill your potions because it's not a storage section.
So it's not
a crate full of potions.
A potions crate. So for like one of the later missions, if you see no potions crates, but you notice conspicuous bodies, give it a shot.
Make sure you fill everybody's health up.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into the habit of going, oh, good, a crate. That's got potions in it. I should use my potions before I touch the crate. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, crate full of potions. Now drink them all. Oh, no. I'm out of potions again.
It's, oh good, drink. Everybody fill up. It's like, hey, we're at the gas station. Take a piss now. Get your snacks.
Nah, I can wait till the next one. Drink a fucking potion.
Do you need some health? You drink that potion.
You missing 1 health? I got 1 potion left, and then we're gonna fill up.
Look,
Drink
I just fell off the stairs.
Do it!
Drink that potion.
Eric found the best thing today. He was playing around trying to climb up a hill.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
Holy shit, okay.
I wish I recorded it.
he hit a...
That's what I want to talk about with Blackwall. I'm going to hold my hand up for that one. Yeah.
We never got to the nut part.
No, we never did. The mage spell.
Just such the Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah,
podcast.
it so is. The mage spell that lets you fucking shoot you around in the ice tree. Brandie suggested I use it to try to climb a hill, and I was like, no, it's impassable. I have to go around. And she's like, well, try it anyway. And I was like, alright, fuck it. So I hit it, and I smacked into the hill with all the force of moving like 100 yards. And I hit it at this right angle, doesn't do it every time, but I hit it at the right angle the first time, to where I careened backward into the sky.
With your arms and legs spread.
It took like half my health bar. It was beautiful.
Like, boom.
And I just went, ah!
So that he did it 5 more times.
Yeah, because it was fun as fuck. That spell is fun as fuck. There's so much to enjoy in the Mage Tree. Blackwall story. I have this video. I might upload it to my Twitter or something. So I was romancing Blackwall, I was flirting with him, and I got done talking to him in the initial part, and he walks over to where he sits, where he stands in Haven. And I noticed that he walked way past where he usually stops, and there was a nug over there, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you just gonna go look at that nug? The nug hopped away, Blackwall turned around and went back to where he usually stands. I was like, yeah, you were looking at the nug. So I went over, talked to him for the second part, did the flirting, all that good stuff. I walked away, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna walk away, and you're just gonna stand there, watching them nugs. No, you're not gonna do it. Alright, let me hide. So I hide behind the little wall, like that little wall right in front of the blacksmiths, and I'm like, yeah, I see you over there, looking at them nugs. The little nug hops into the little road. He walks over there, stares at the nug. Nug hops away. Blackwall turns around and walks back to his little place. You heard it here first. Blackwall loves nugs.
He and Liliana. Man, I romance Liliana in Dragon Age Origins. Blackwall and Liliana. It's my OTP.
They're gonna bond over their mutual love for nugs.
Yeah!
Oh, man. Oh, this fucking game.
Nugs are great.
We did the mage jumpy thing. I told you why the nightmare fight was hard.
You know what I forgot to do? And I'm going to tell you to do this, listener, because I forgot and I feel bad. First dragon I killed was today, and I forgot to bring Iron Bull, and apparently he does something very funny. He makes like a different, really excited quote whenever a dragon shows up. Like, I've had him go, "Oh, today is a very good day." And that sort of thing. He makes different little Sean Connery quotes every time a dragon shows up, but I haven't killed one in his presence, and I don't know what he does, and I'm a little sad.
You can still get the cutscene even if he wasn't there when you killed it.
How?
You just go talk to him. Make sure you've talked to him about everything.
Oh, goody. Okay.
Because my power party was Dorian, Cassandra, and Blackwall. Because Iron Bull just kept dying on me. So when I went to kill my dragon...
Well, he's a Reaver. He's not exactly the walliest guy.
I didn't bring him with me, but then I went back and there was a cutscene where we talked about dragons.
Excellent.
With my dwarf, because that's the farthest I've gotten, I roved around with Team Awesome, which was my dwarf, who really isn't all that awesome. She's kind of a buzzkill. Sarah, Varric, and Dorian. Go Team Awesome.
That's as terrible a party as my Dragon Age 2 party, which was rogues and then a mage.
Well, no, because my Inquisitor is a warrior. She's a tank.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love that you can do two-handed tank in this.
Yeah, you can just, the tank tree's entirely separate.
Yeah,
you can get tankier powers if you do sword and board.
But I can just, throw on some tank shit, yell at things, it comes at me, and I'm like, sweet, now stay here while everything shoots the fuck out of you.
I love my, I like the other two, that they have one character. They seem to have one character of each class specialization. There's one, for each warrior, one for each rogue, and one for each mage. So if I want to try out Rift Mage, I can. If I want to try out Necromancer, I can. Necromancer turns out mostly buffs.
And Walking Bomb.
Yeah, buffs and Walking Bomb, which is way better now. But, oh my god, is Knight Enchanter so fun. Knight Enchanter is so fun and ridiculously OP.
One of the other things I'm looking forward to...
But still more balanced than Arcane Warrior.
when I go back to my Dwarf playthrough is playing Champion, which reads like a slightly different version of a class I designed for one of my homebrew RPGs, which I called the...
Bastion,
I think, yeah. Which was all about just, setting lines of battle and moving around the field. And they were like a tank through... obstruction, a zoning tank, instead of an aggro tank.
And that's what Blackwall is.
Yeah, and that's Blackwall the champion, so I'm looking forward to that.
You were an assassin, right, in your first playthrough?
Yep.
The rogue ones kind of suck.
What class are you going through the second time?
I am a warrior, two-handed. I'm just picking traits that I like.
I like it.
Did you get charge? Charge is a good trait.
Charging Bull?
Is there a rogue trait
I gave Charging Bull to
awesome person?
I gave Charging Bull to Iron Bull.
So he could get the Bull's charges to Charging Bull with Iron Bull? That's funny to me. Fuck you.
He doesn't have it anymore because it's kind of useless on him, but...
It's great when you're playing. If you want to go somewhere faster, fuck it, I'm going.
I took it off all my NPCs. Because all that means is Cassandra's going to aggro everybody with her war cry and then taunt the guy she missed, so she has a big party of aggro people, and then she's going to Charging Bull off into the distance. And then I have to fucking chase her.
It's part of what got me through that fight with the Nightmare, because it gives you guard when you run through people. So I just kept running through people. I'm like, yeah, I got infinity hit points. Try and stop me.
That's what arcane. That's what makes. I keep on calling it Arcane Warrior because that's what it is. Only it's the new version. That's what makes Knight Enchanter so good. Is because it's based around keeping your shield up, and it has a 0 cooldown, high damage spell that doesn't cost much mana, and basically means your shield is always full so long as you're casting it. I don't need any other spells.
Shades of Grey stuff. We're winding down, but there was something I wanted to mention. Even blood magic. They do a better job of painting Shades of Grey with it. Up until now, and this is me, this is Hudson Hawk player here. Up until now, blood magic has been a bad no-no thing that you could, for some reason, prestige class into. Only idiots and villains use blood magic.
Also, it was useless as a prestige class.
It was kind of shitty. Not as shitty in 2, but still pretty shitty.
I still freak out when people talk about blood magic.
Well, I mean, well, you should. But, you can get into conversations with Sola, so I know, most reputable person in the world. But he does mention that blood magic is not all that different than magic. That, it's just a different source for magic. You don't have to use it for evil, but, you know, similar to, what some folks might say about guns, if you make blood magic a villainous act, then all blood mages are villains by default. So it kind of raises questions, you know, can it be used for good?
I've never seen a blood mage who was anything other than a complete douche.
Well, here's the thing, and let's turn that around. What if, for whatever reason, both of you specifically would work well, what if both of your mage characters used the blood magic tree? The person who saved Kirkwall and the person who saved the world were blood mages.
That's a thing you could do.
You could conceivably do that, and just cast an interesting light. The biggest thing, this is my big you heard it here first theory, and there's no spoilers, so whatever. And I spoke with you about this, but now that you've gotten through the Fade, I can talk with you about this. They paint Tevinter with Shades of Grey.
And that's weird.
They're starting to paint the Chantry with darker shades of gray. I mean, they kind of go, yeah, we did an Exalted March a long time ago. Shut up, nobody even listened about that. But,
apparently it gets worse. But they still, I mean, for at least in my game, they've painted the Chantry as mostly good people with not exactly the best people in charge.
With a shitty history. There have been awful...
With the kind of shitty history you expect from a monotheistic,
global religion.
Yeah.
Tell them about what you think about the Maker.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was going to get to. There's a book or something you can find in the Fade that is an account from a Tevinter mage. And it's not as fresh in my head right now, so I'm probably going to misquote it, so I'll just give you the gist. He's talking about how when they were serving the old gods, whenever they needed the old gods, they were there for them. He would pray to, what's the guy with the D name? Dumat. He would pray to Dumat, and Dumat would give him whatever he needed. They would help them, they would protect them. And then one day he prayed for Dumat, and Dumat wasn't there. And he prayed for Dumat, and Dumat wasn't there. And then he was outside doing something, and a huge dragon flew up. And he was like, oh good, Dumat! And then he looked at him for a second and went, shit, he's all shitty like those darkspawn that have been attacking. No, what happened to Dumat? So, what if, and I'm sure this is not a new theory to a lot of people, but I don't fandom, so this is new for me. What if the Maker isn't as good as we make him out to be? What if the Golden City was never a Golden City and it was a Black City, and the Tevinter mages who broke in found out? And instead of him being an asshole for no reason who was like, oh, you found out that or you come into the Golden City where I live. Well, fuck all of mankind every now and then for the rest of time. He was just, oh, you found out I'm super evil. Get out. Also curses. Curses everywhere. Also, I'm killing your gods for no reason. There, suck it. I still think Andraste was a good person.
I think she was kidnapped.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, the whole Persephone thing. If you look at it that way, if you think of if the Maker is a bad guy, just entertain the thought for a second. Instead of it being like him being jealous and taking a lover and, having a right to Andraste or what the fuck ever, it looks a lot more like the Greek myth of Persephone and Hades. Which is like the only villainous thing Hades ever fucking did.
Because otherwise, Hades was a super nice guy.
But, yeah, so, Andraste goes from being because she's a martyr. She's portrayed as a martyr in the universe. And yeah, she was betrayed, but it's not in the same way that, the obvious parallel in our real world. Christ was betrayed. He got betrayed pretty fucking hard by basically everybody ever. Even his best friends. Andraste, her husband, was a dick. And there was some other shit too, but the big thing was her husband, kind of a dick. And then his head got real heavy.
Because of his horrible haircut.
Yeah. But, she's not so much a martyr. What if her martyrdom comes from not the fact that she was killed or whatever.
And burned by the Tevinter Imperium, that should never be forgotten.
But the fact that she was marked by the Maker, that she knew no matter what happened, she was his. And so she did as much good as possible to, hey, nobody go to the Black City because it's super bad. Don't fucking... Everybody likes the Maker. Maybe he will be nice to you because this guy's a dick.
Actually gives it a very the Stand feel.
Yeah, it's current theory I'm playing with. I don't have a whole lot of support for it, but this is the first time they've painted Tevinter as anything but madman.
I don't see that the Maker, given the same evidence, I'm seeing what you're talking about. I don't think the Maker's a bad guy. I think he's Old Testament guy.
Maybe.
I don't think he's necessarily evil. He's just God, and God doesn't like it when you misbehave.
Well, even Old Testament God only flooded the earth once.
Yeah, I did bring up that point too. He flooded the earth and went, okay, now don't do it again.
Everybody learned their lesson. Yeah.
The Maker's just like, fuck it, have another blight. We didn't do anything. Fuck you, maybe.
The Maker put blights as a thing that could happen, and then just wiped his hands of it. Unlike Old Testament God, who was still invested in this humanity thing, the Maker was like, there, have some blights. Beat them, don't beat them, I don't give a fuck. Later, bitches, I'm done with you. You guys don't know how to follow rules. I'm gonna interact with the spirits. They know how to follow rules.
Now, don't go to the human world or, you're all demons now.
They don't know how to follow rules either. Damn it! No one listens to me. Fuck it, I'm fucking off into my house. Slams the door. Opens the door. By the way, give me a lady. Slams the door.
That one, she got some purty behind. Varric swears by it.
But I just...
That's my current little pet theory. I don't know, it's interesting.
I like the chantry, though. I do. I like...
Sure, and I love that they take a lot of time to express that there are a lot of good people in the chantry who want good things to happen.
I like how chantry butthole dude turned the cheek at the end.
Oh yeah, this game Gamblin'?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game Gamblin'.
Chancellor Roderick, yes.
Chancellor Gamblin'.
Am I a suspect? I want him to be distantly related to the MLs desperately, just so that he can be that spiritual Gamblin' and also kind of Gamblin'. Gamblin', I don't know if I mentioned in the last podcast, Dragon Age 2, first time I played through, fuck Gamblin'. Second time I played through, I fucking love you, Gamblin'.
He's just such an unrepentant twat.
No, and that's the best part about him, because unlike Vivienne, who pretends like I'm all high society and I'm awesome, whatever,
Oh dear, yes, you're so cute with your little schemes and whatnot. I'm so much better than you.
Gamblin' is just, fuck you.
He's very direct.
Even when he has that moment where you're like, oh, Gamblin', you must have had it really hard. And he's like, these bad things happen, and Hawk is like, alright, all these things I get. He's like, what? You think I want your sympathy? Fuck off!
Gambling, you're gambling till the end.
Oh, I named my dog in Dragon Age 2. I know I told you guys this. Good Gamblin'. And that's the best name for the dog since Markspawn, I feel.
Oh my god, I miss the dog in this game. I miss the dog.
Yeah, where's my fucking dog?
I don't even have a spell for my dog in this game.
You know what? It's the first game you haven't been Ferelden.
Yeah, none of your characters are Ferelden.
True.
Like, none of the possible character options are Ferelden.
They're all, like, from the free marches.
Yeah, they're all marchers. So, no dogs.
Well, in your house I miss...
Huh.
Enchantment.
Yeah.
Where's Sandal?
Unless he shows up in the second half of the game or something. Like, do we remember the prophecy, if you haven't heard it, in Dragon Age 2? Usually you talk to Sandal and he's like, enchantment! Sometimes you can talk to Sandal and he's like, she is watching, she will come. And just this whole speech about, like, all this shit, and I'm like, damn, I want to know more about the scary shit you're whispering.
And then there's not enchantment.
Well, yeah, that's funny. I was for sure he was going to be the Arcanist, but I was so delighted by, what's her name, Shona? Dagna?
Yeah. Dagna from Dragon Age Origins.
Man. She's super sweet, she's super nice, she's not Scout Harding, but no one is.
By the way, I romanced Cassandra in this game, because I couldn't romance Scout Harding, and Sarah is a lesbian, and I'm playing a dude.
Yeah, you can kind of romance Scout Harding. Just stick with it and don't romance anybody else, that's all I'll say. It's kind of like how you could sort of romance Samara. I'm hoping they do a Citadel-style DLC for this game. I think it would be a perfect fit, because Citadel for Mass Effect 3 was an amazing piece of DLC. I
Probably
can't think...
a favorite DLC.
Best DLC ever, any game, period. Better than Horse Armor.
I don't know about that. Shivering Isles is still really good.
It is, but, you know, as great as Sheogorath is...
And Sheogorath is great.
I will trade Sheogorath for everything that happens in that DLC. I mean, and I just played through it once, and I was missing people. I didn't get to see that, you know, Jack got a little better. I didn't get to see the extra relationships they added in,
You didn't get to bed Javik.
No, I could have bedded Javik, but I was with Garrus. Oh, fucking Javik. I love him. This game desperately needs a Javik.
I love so much about Dragon Age Inquisition.
Solus is kind of a Javik.
And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Yeah, because he's so much older than everybody.
Yeah, he's so much older than you. It was cooler back in the day when I saw it in the Fade. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You've seen that painting? I've seen it in the Fade. Much better.
He's a Fade.
He is!
I love Dragon Age Origins. I think I can say I love Dragon Age 2. I can safely say that about everyone who's played Dragon Age Origins. I'm probably one of the only people who loves Dragon Age 2. But I love Dragon Age Inquisition. And I think I can safely say that about at least the two of you. I would bet this isn't the last podcast we do on this.
No, once we beat it, I mean, because like I said, man, we could have talked about wrestling, and that's the other thing that's been forefront of my mind right now. There's so much to discuss about why the WWE is doing things wrong. And how right we were. Brandie's been preaching her vindication about stuff we don't know about Inquisition. Man, how fucking right were we about everything exactly that's going on in WWE?
Except for one thing we were wrong about,
we were
very wrong about, that makes me really mad.
But, I digress, because we've hit that time.
Yep.
Brandie, thank you so much for joining us and being a super active part of the podcast. It's always good to have guests that actually talk.
I like to talk about Dragon Age.
And yeah,
I can talk about Alistair for, oh god, who knows how long, especially since, you know, my text tone was lick the lamppost in winter for about a year and a half.
For about a year and a half, every time Brandie got a text, have you ever licked a lamppost in winter? I got real fucking tired of that quote, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
She didn't, though. Still on her phone.
Yeah, it's still there. It's just waiting in case she needs it. Yeah, no, I love the game. And I'd love to have Brandie back when we beat the game and talk about it.
Oh yes, because, oh my god. I can't not talk. I always touch my hair and I want to pull it out when I think about the ending of that game.
So, I mean, like, Kill Bill Volume 1 ending good? Like, that kind of, like, I need everything now.
Yes.
Yes, that was
sweet.
I have ideas of what the next game is going to be that I can't even say.
Alright, well, that's high praise, because she's pretty picky about video games, I'm not gonna lie.
No, she so is.
That is high praise coming from Brandie.
Skyrim doesn't have footprints in the snow? Fuck it. This is the greatest game ever. Fuck it. What? Dragon Age, footprints in the snow, 10 out of 10!
And jumping!
And jumping. It has jumping, finally.
This is everything I've ever wanted in a fucking game.
And teleporting around and charging.
So much cool shit. Alright, I know we're over time, but I don't want this to be the Guardians of the Galaxy podcast. I have to mention something that is a problem with this game.
It glitches.
It glitches like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, they're patching it. There's a patch supposed to come out this month.
So many glitches. I have an entire section in my game, the part where you judge criminals, I can't even do. It's completely fucking broken, beyond repair. I've tried everything on the internet, it just won't work. One other problem with this game, and it's something that I balked when the person who first mentioned it, that I hadn't noticed it because it's so seamless. But when someone mentioned online, I balked. I was like, how could he not like this? What is wrong with this guy? I like this guy. He's losing points with me. But then I played it again and I went, oh my god, he's right. There's a lot of fucking fetch quests in this game, man.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw that same thing. And, you know, what game isn't there is basically my contention.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not the end of the world.
Like,
but there are a lot of fetch quests.
We do not have time to go on this full rant, but look, there are only so many quests. And if you want to have a lot of quests, motherfucker, they're gonna have to be fetch quests.
Yeah. Like, at least the majority of them are gonna have to, because there's only so many things you can do.
I mean, you know, if you want to get on with the main story, Dragon Age Inquisition does kind of have that Mass Effect problem, where it throws you into the deep end and goes, swim, and you go, how? And then it goes, you'll figure it out.
Or you won't, I don't care. Bye!
And, I mean, it took me forever to figure out how to track quests on my map. They help you, but there's a lot you have to learn yourself.
It took me a couple minutes to figure out how to access my map, if that tells you how overwhelming this game is.
When I talk to you guys about the game, I give you little tips. I don't usually try to do that because I don't want to be, hey, did you know if you press this button, you can do a thing? And you're like, fucking get away from me. But I want to make sure you know.
So meanly to Markiplier.
I want to make sure you understand how to play the game, the neat little tricks, and the easy modes. Like fucking, I told Brandie after she went around grinding elf root for a later quest, you just buy elf root? You know that thing you don't use in the game? I believe it's called money? You can just go use it and get elf root.
I buy maker size. The Tactician's Renewal, it's called. I buy those. I like respecking every now and again, and my different characters. I think I've got them finally set up the way I like them now.
You've used to?
I bought 2 things in this game. One of the
Tactician's Renewals, which was $1.
And then I accidentally bought a helmet.
I buy stuff. I use my money. I proactively go and I use my money.
I will start doing so now that I can buy components. Because I love making armor and shit. The crafting system's amazing.
God,
we didn't even talk about the fucking crafting system.
Holy shit, we didn't. Alright, no, that has to be the next podcast. We're already over time. This can't go on for the rest of the time.
We're way over time. Look, okay, the game is great. And if you're sleeping on it for one reason or another, good. Buy it next year. Buy it after the holiday season if you celebrate holidays. Finish up playing some stuff. Enjoy what WoW's doing right now. I sure as hell haven't been. I've been doing other fucking shit. But, give it some time to breathe. Then, go grab it after you hear a patch or two is hit.
That'll take care of the glitchiness.
Because, you know what? It is Game of the Year this year, and I don't know what'll top it next year.
Neither do I. They're not coming out with another one.
I think it's gonna be like Skyrim, where it was just like Game of the Year for like 9 years running.
Yeah, where I was playing Skyrim up until this game came out.
I wasn't, but still, I had been playing it a lot. And,
this is our first one game.
Yeah, this is our first Xbox One game.
This is the first game we actually purchased for the Xbox
That
One.
wasn't a side-scroller.
Yeah.
That I, 8-bit side-scroller.
First game I've played more than 5 minutes of on the Xbox One.
It's beautiful.
It's very pretty. But anyway.
We will talk about all of these things and more later.
And they will be good when we talk about them, because everything is better when nerds talk about it.